Hello my fellows, welcome to my channel. As you probably already know by the title of this video, I'm going to teach you in this tutorial how to draw torsos in two different ways. In these two different ways we're gonna use specific shapes, and one we're gonna use the blocks and the other one we're gonna use circles. I use these for different genders mostly. I prefer to use blocks for male characters since it has more of a strong build, and circles for the female since the general female has a lot of curves. So the round shape of the circle makes it easy to get that feminine shape. First off, we're gonna start with the male character. For the male character, like I mentioned, I use the block. So I start with a bigger trapezium for the top. After I do the top trapezium, I do a smaller trapezium on the bottom. And then I connect both with two lines to make a box in between. That's where the abdomen will be at. I go back to the first trapezium on the top, the bigger one. I divide it in half and then I put a horizontal line a bit lower than the half point. That's where the pectorals will be at, basically the chest muscles. After that, I also add a trapezium for the top of the shoulders and triangles where the shoulders will be at to represent the shoulder muscles, or at least the beginning of the shoulder muscles. I also do a trapezium shape to divide the lower trapezium where the lower body will be at, to know where both legs will begin at. I like to use these blocks for the male since the male has a stronger build and it's not as curvy as the female. The block on the top is supposed to be bigger since males generally have broader shoulders rather than hips, and vice versa for the female whose hips are generally thicker than the shoulder length. Just to make this a bit more complete, I'm gonna add legs, a head, and the arms to this body in a sped up time lapse, and after that we'll continue with the female body, in which we will use the circles. You might remember this from my drawing plantigrade, the snowman technique, or so how I call it. Now we are off with the female body. As I mentioned before, I like to use the snowman technique, as I like to call it, to design it since it helps making a curvier body. Now that we're here, let me just disclaim that both of these I suggest you use them for this, but you can also use them for the opposite gender that I'm telling you to use it for. You can use the blocky one for the female and the circular one for the males. If you want to get more like a masculine girl or a feminine guy, you can do so. It can help you get a more defining shape to match their personality. As I do the circles, I just follow the shapes of the body. Since it's female, I add the breasts and make sure that she has curves. I like to do a little division on the bottom to know where the legs will be coming out from. And remember, the generic female has thicker hips than shoulders. Once the female body is done, I'm going to go through a speed paint to show you how I will apply these forms of making a torso into an illustration. So now that we're here in the illustration, let me explain where my ideas were based from. So I decided to make one of each gender to show you how I use both of the methods of doing a torso. So I made a female archer and a male swordsman, and I decided to make them look like warriors of some type of tribe. I gave the woman big eyes with a prominent large nose and thick curly hair, very messy. I gave her a two-piece made of fur and boots made of fur and leather. I used a bit of perspective to make the arrow seem like it's aiming almost towards you. And behind her I added a male warrior swordsman. I gave him a very simple design, basic hair with a long sword. And for clothing I gave him some gauntlets, shoulder armor, shorts, and a pair of boots. If any of you notice, if any of you play Skyrim, you might notice that I got inspiration on the outfits from the Forsworn, which are enemy tribes in the game. I love the game Skyrim, it's really fun. It's not for everyone as it's a very open world game, really big, but I generally think it's fun. It never gets old for me. And I heard that Elder Scrolls 6 is on its way, so I am looking forward to that. Thanks guys for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button and maybe even subscribe and hit that little bell next to it to get notifications for every time I post a new video. Don't forget to also share this with your friends that might be struggling with art and poses, or just like watching tutorials for the sake of a little bit of knowledge. A little bit of knowledge never hurts. And also, yes, I noticed I committed a few mistakes in the process. For example, I think I should have tilted the female archer's chest a little bit more to make it seem like it was all the way back as it was drawing the arrow. But I'm afraid I will have to wait for the next time I draw an archer. By the way, I will post a separate speed paint in which I will be coloring this line art illustration you see here in full color and shading, so look forward to that. I hope you enjoy the process. Thanks for watching. Artie Jacriff out.